You're listening to Midday. I'm Maria Chaleos. As it starts to look more like summer and we are spending more time outdoors, it's time to restock the sunscreen. Had some really warm temperatures already this season, and while it may be a little cooler right now, that heat will inevitably come back. So why not get the sunscreen now before everyone else does? In this segment of Health Matters on Midday, I'm joined by Dr. Richard Ferguson, president of the Black Physicians of Utah, to talk about the importance of using sunscreen for health and not just cosmetics.
Sun protection, it is a health issue. It's not just a cosmetic issue. So protecting skin from UV exposure lowers the risk of sunburn. All right, so that's one of the first things, and reduces your risk for skin cancer. And it also, which we have a large cosmetic industry in Utah. You will need less cosmetic treatments, Botox, getting your skin tucked and pulled, if you are able to stop the end effect of sun exposure, which is premature aging of the skin. So everyone, I just want to emphasize this, everyone needs sun protection, not just in Utah. Everyone needs it. That even means those with darker skin tones like myself. I'm talking to you, black and brown people out there in Utah. You also need to put on sunscreen, and I'm saying at least an SPF 15 and higher. Darker skin has more melanin, but it does not eliminate sun damage risk. So, I'm often just echoing and preaching what dermatologists have taught me. Sunscreen for everyone, and particularly our babies, even though they don't have a lot of skin exposure. This is often when we get a lot of exposure if we don't have a parent. Just sometimes it's just putting on clothes, long sleeve shirts, thin, long sleeved and long pant clothing for our children, and covering their face with sunscreen, something that, of course, would be hypoallergenic. We got to protect our kiddos because they often don't have a choice in how it goes on, right? So we got to protect them when they're of the age until they know that it needs to be applied. So that's one thing. But remember, darker skin tones, sun exposure can also worsen hyperpigmentation and dark spots that people have. So now to go into sunscreen. Sunscreen matters, but it should be the right kind and used the right way.
Right, I was
So
going to
I
say,
often
are
said
they
if you're
all made equally? But they're not, are they?
they're not. I'm actually my wife who tends to be we like to say rather atopic. It's a term we use when someone is very sensitive to allergens and pollens and antigens in the air, certain chemicals. She often reacts to certain sunscreens. Actually, she ended up getting a rash and she had to put steroid on her hands and her legs just from spraying on the sunscreen. So she's trying to protect herself and then she ends up getting a reaction from it. But that's specific to her. So I would say is I recommend a broad spectrum, water resistant. And usually if it's water resistant, that means you have to reapply every 90 minutes. Okay, so it doesn't mean I just put on once and I'm fine, or I put on once and go running and I'm fine. Sweat, water, it eventually will start to remove some of that. So remember, reapplication. I say for most everybody in Utah, you should try to do an SPF 30 or higher. Apply it 15 minutes before going out. So the thing is, some people, they're outside already and then like, oh, let me put some sunscreen on. Well, you're not getting your full protection and you're already exposed. You shouldn't do it in the sun. So I recommend do it before you go outside and wait a little bit before getting in the water, at least 15 minutes before going outside or going in the water. And reapply every 2 hours, 90 minutes to 2 hours after swimming or sweating. I recommend 90 minutes. It even says it on the can
Mm-hmm.
when you buy it. Sprays are fine. Sometimes I'm a bigger fan of actually the lotion. And an average adult needs about 1 ounce. So that's about almost a shot glass for a full body coverage. And remember, sun protection is not just for the beach. UV exposure happens on cloudy days. We will have cloudy days. And in everyday life, walking the dog, driving, sports, yard work. I use sunscreen in the winter, so hopefully people have been doing that. Sunscreen is important, and I keep it in my car. I just get a little $4 travel one. That's the generic, like Kroger Walgreens brand, SPF 50, and I just keep it in my car so that I don't have an excuse to not protect my skin. So I can stop premature aging and risk of cancer and just general being uncomfortable with the sunburn. You can't enjoy being outside with family and friends if you're putting on aloe vera. So I think the quick take home is Melanin for our darker skin folks, it's helpful, but it's not a force field. You still need a protection. Put sunscreen on before you go out, not after you get hot. And sun protection, once again, prevents skin cancer, sunburn, and unnecessary dark spots.
Yeah, I think you've brought up some really good points because I think for me, I'm really good when I'm going to go out recreating. If I'm going out for a bike ride or a hike or something or laying by the pool, I'm really good about putting on the sunscreen. It's when I'm going out to pull a few weeds and I'm thinking, oh, I just need to grab these few weeds. And then suddenly I've been outside for a couple hours that I'm not so great.
Yeah, you got to remember area where you're exposed. And if you're not going to be necessarily by the beach, and let's say you don't have sunscreen, go for thin, breathable, long sleeve, long pants clothing, as if you were going on a hike. Because then all you have to do is address your head, neck, and your hands. And that's mostly it. So that's what I would say is protect yourself, keep it on hand. It's affordable. I don't push any particular brand per se. I try to tell if you zinc oxide is okay, but some people don't like that. It's fine to have those without it. That's more concerning if you're going somewhere near a coral reef.
Hmm.
You have there's some recommendation on certain sunscreens to use so you don't damage the reef. Other than that, it's not caught.